In this video, we're going to be discussing the topic, how women really want you to talk to them. One of the hardest things to do for most men is talking to women, and this isn't because they don't have the confidence to walk up to a girl, no. It is mainly because they don't know what to say to make a girl interested in them. It's a lot difficult to get a lady interested in what you have to say these days because women no longer care for those cheesy and corny pickup lines that our grandpas used to get grannies. So putting those in your head will not help you. So today, we're going to be exploring some of the things that ladies like to hear that will surely keep them interested. But before we dive into it, remember that we make these videos for free for your entertainment, and all we ask in return is you click the like button and subscribe with the notification bell on. All set? Okay, let's go. You can have the most expensive clothes and car in the world, but it's useless if you can't hold a conversation with her. The trick to winning a girl's heart is to appeal to her mind. If you can't come up with interesting topics to discuss with a lady, she'll become bored with you and go on to the next guy. Conversations are how a girl learns about you, how you think, and whether or not she'll consider being with you in the end. Of course, you can't even ask for her name or get her phone number without speaking to her. So yeah, that's how important conversations are. The first thing to do when trying to make conversation with a lady is to evaluate your level of familiarity with her. Asking overly intimate questions when you've just met is not only impolite, but also creepy. Yes, we know you're interested in her, but now isn't the time to discuss subjects that are only appropriate for people in intimate relationships. Before diving in deep, you should first test the waters. Next, you need to know the what, when, and where. It's not a good idea to bring up your ex-girlfriend while you're out on a date. And neither is talking about the atrocities of the Russian-Ukraine war while you're out to dinner. The timing of the things to discuss with a girl is crucial. Therefore, you must select the appropriate time. Don't just bring up topics at the wrong time or in the wrong way. You must always sense the mood and let the mood dictate what you're going to talk about. Bringing up previous relationships is a surefire way to end a first date early. If you think it's obvious, you'd be amazed how often people accidentally bring up their exes. Be careful and remember that your date isn't your therapist. Do not burden her with your baggage. Whatever your motivation is, bringing up your most recent ex will lead your date to believe that you're more interested in your ex than in her. Next, you must be a good listener. Don't interrupt her when she's speaking and maintain eye contact throughout the chat. Basically, what you learned in elementary school. Also, don't listen simply to answer. Trust us when we say she'll be able to tell. Ask her how her day was. One of the most important conversation starters you should have learned by now is this. It's polite to inquire about the most important aspects of it. There are no quite fine, very good, etc. endings in your vocabulary. As a follow-up question, inquire if there have been any notable events in the past several days. What if she mentioned something interesting? That would make an excellent follow-up question. You can also ask her about her hobbies. Asking her what she likes to do in her free time is an excellent way to discover mutual interests. When you're trying to find common ground to keep the conversation going, this is the most relaxed approach. Once you've found some common ground, the talk can carry on endlessly. So, if you really want to get to know this girl, ask her about her hobbies and interests. Ask her if she plays a musical instrument. Ask her if she writes poems, and any other thing that comes to mind. Ask her about family. When it comes to deeper conversations, family members are a good place to start. Asking for information about her family shows that you care about her, and it can lead to childhood recollections, the old hometown she grew up in, and of course, school life. This is a very personal subject to talk about with someone, so if she readily shares her family with you, she feels at ease and trusts you. Compliment her. Starting a conversation with a sweet compliment helps you look friendly immediately. It also helps you look attentive and caring. It can also help you start a terrific conversation and set the tone for the rest of the talk. You could be tempted to strike up a discussion with a woman by complimenting her physical appearance, by saying something like, "You have such gorgeous eyes," or "I love your smile." But you shouldn't do that just yet. Rather, compliment something related to her behavior or personality. You can also tell a joke. This is a popular one and a very good way to break the ice, but you have to be sure that the joke you're going to tell is a good one, and you also have to tell it well. Laughter releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, according to Don Maslar, author of Men Chase, Women Choose, The Neuroscience of Meeting, Dating, Losing Your Mind, and Finding True Love. A cheesy joke or a silly pickup line might help to create a relaxed, humorous atmosphere for the rest of the conversation. Telling a joke at the start of the conversation shows your date that you have a fantastic sense of humor right away. You have a far better chance of seeming attractive to her if you establish yourself as a funny guy right at the start of the chat. Just stay away from overly political, vulgar, or sexual jokes. These types of jokes may amuse your pals, but they aren't the best approach to make a good first impression on a stranger or a casual acquaintance. Try to find common ground. Using what you have in common as a springboard is a simple way to learn how to talk to women. One of the easiest ways to achieve this is to take advantage of the conversation's setting. If you're approaching a beautiful woman at a party, for example, you could ask, "How do you know the host?" You'll be able to demonstrate that you share at least one person in common, and the conversation can then move forward. You can also tweak the question to, "How long have you been a part of this organization?" if you're at a work event. Starting with the surroundings or people you have in common, regardless of the situation, can help lay a solid foundation for the rest of the talk. Ask about her passion. If you're shy or introverted, the prospect of leading a conversation all by yourself can be scary. Asking a lady about her passions is a simple and unobtrusive approach to shifting the conversation's focus to her. You don't have to ask her directly, "What are your interests?" Instead, ask her what she enjoys doing in her spare time. Begin by telling her about something you enjoy doing, and then encourage her to follow. For example, you can say something like, "I've been attempting to learn French lately, and I've been taking a French course online. I'm finding it really interesting." Then you can follow up with a little French and tell her what it means in English. After this, you can ask her something like, "What do you enjoy doing in your spare time?" Knowing about a woman's talents and passions also allows you to appreciate her without emphasizing her appearance. It's a sophisticated move that immediately distinguishes you from other males. Avoid mansplaining. What woman doesn't admire a witty man? In a first chat, talking to a woman intelligently and articulately makes you incredibly desirable. However, there is one important caveat. Acting too educated might be a turnoff. You've probably heard the term mansplaining. It basically describes a circumstance in which a guy greatly underestimates a woman's intelligence by explaining things she obviously already understands. What's the solution then? Mitigate the risk of appearing hubristic by keeping your comments concise and perhaps by softening the impact. For example, by closing with, "Just an opinion," or "How do you feel?" This allows your date or companion the chance to share her knowledge and express her ideas, and this way your knowledge won't come off as bragging and making her feel sidelined. You can also invoke pop culture. Bringing up pop culture is an easy approach to start a conversation with a girl if you don't have enough confidence. Make a joke or comment on something she's likely familiar with. Recent Netflix series, mainstream music, and reality TV shenanigans are all safe bets. Just remember to make things humorous. Avoid politics and avoid bringing up a pop culture incident that you have negative opinions about. If you detested the most recent season of Game of Thrones, wait until you've gotten to know your date a little better before bringing it up. Starting a conversation on a poor note will cast a negative shadow over the remainder of the conversation. Consider how embarrassing it would be if you said you disliked a movie or show only to discover that she likes it. Pay attention. Even if you've matched with a woman online, it can be intimidating to send your initial message to her. In many cases, even after you've taken your best shot, the woman may not bother to respond. Check out her pictures and bio to increase your chances of establishing an actual discussion. Find out if you have a shared interest in music, hobbies, or a favorite hangout. You can attract the attention of women more by demonstrating that you're observant and attentive. It's as simple as mentioning something you read on her profile to begin a discussion. In doing so, it reveals to her that you aren't conveying the same message to every woman you match with. Look into her eyes while you talk. Imagine that you're talking to a woman from an angle, or with your backs turned against each other. It might be difficult to establish a connection with her. Talk to each other in a natural way. In order to ensure a great conversation, you should be attempting to get her to turn toward you so that you may begin to build romantic chemistry. Also, make a mental note of where her feet are pointed. She may be trying to leave the room if she has her face to you, but her feet are pointed in a different direction. Remember this and give her the option to leave if necessary. Ask about her friends. This is a sure way to get her talking. Ask about her friends. They're like her family, and they're the only ones she spends most of her time with. Ask her all about her friends if you want to strike up a conversation with her about this subject. Find out what she thinks of them, what she likes best about them, and how they met up with each other. If she isn't a complete stranger to you and you have mutual friends, that's even better. This way, there's even more things to talk and laugh about. Even a little gossip about your mutual friends can help you bond more. And that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know down in the comments section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get all the notifications of our videos. Check out the video on the screen and we will see you next time.